Yo, I thought it started at 7. These guys, man, just pretty much pulled up. I pulled up the scoreboard, and I'm like, yo, Fusion's up 2-0? Good Lord, man. Jeez. Man, hold on. Let me see his actual. They up 2-0.
Welcome to the game break presented by Cheese It Grooves. It's Johnny here as the host and the analyst. Unfortunately, Frankie is undergoing some technical difficulties, but that's fine because we'll probably talk about map 1 and then Frankie will come in, pop in and say some nice words, bring her British slang that we'd love to hear. So it's all good. She'll be back. Don't worry about it. You don't have to deal with me for too long.
Nice.
Costa, so far, pretty one-sided between both of these teams. Obviously, the LA Valiant beat the Florida Mayhem yesterday, but going up against the Philadelphia Fusion.
That's what's up, baby. Let's go, Philly.
We really saw that come through on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, we've seen so many different teams, and we're starting to see the meta level out a little bit, especially with this Reaper, Sombra, Winston stuff. But I think the Philadelphia Fusion have shown themselves as heads and shoulders above the rest of the competition thus far. Obviously, in the first round, we went to this Reinhardt, Junkrat, Symmetra style, which Philly just absolutely took over in this first round, but then we go on to the second round, and this is the worrying sign for the Los Angeles Valiant. They play the mirror, they play the style that the Valiant had so much success against the Mayhem with, and it does not look close.
He said what?
Are you alive? I missed you.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
Costa, I lost
she's
your
back.
audio. I lost your audio then, so I couldn't hear what was going on. But hello, I know you thought you could get rid of me, boys. But sadly, I'm still here. You tried. Unfortunately.
I didn't try. It was all Costa. It was all Costa. I didn't try for a second.
It was a good effort, but like the Valiant, you fell short on the second map, my friends. All right, we are ready, I believe, for our crunch time presented by Cheese It Grooves. And funnily enough, this one's also about stalling as well, Reinforce.
Yeah, I mean, on Lijiang Tower, I think the Philadelphia Fusion really showed a great example of how good of a team they are, because Jake was like almost laughing about it during the cast, but we went into Lijiang Tower on Gardens, and the Philadelphia Fusion, they just stalled out the point forever. This should be a one fight for the LA Valiant. Dreamer gets a pick on Tosado, you get Fury out of his mech, and this should all be clean up from here. You're all 5 people onto the point, you're death falling around, Ivy goes down, but somehow the Philadelphia Fusion just manages to claw themselves back into this fight. Alarm props to Coalescence, he who dedicates himself with the EMP, and they end up winning this fight. And the Philadelphia Fusion, they do this time and time again. It's so difficult for some of these teams to close out some of these fights. And we even saw it on Kings Row for a few moments. Even though the Philadelphia Fusion, they didn't make a comeback and clutch fight like this one, every time you try to capture a point against the Fusion, they make it very difficult for you. They draw out every little bit of resource and ultimate they can from you. And it makes a big impact overall. And going into Kings Row, they just continue to be a pain in the neck for the Los Angeles Valiant.
I think we're really starting to see the cracks of the Valiant really show each other. I want to show here the Reaper head-to-head. I think Shax is a pivotal person who's really struggling to get anything done right now. Feels like every time he is coming out and going aggressive on this Reaper, he is getting punished. He has 9 deaths per 10 minutes on these Reaper kills. He has not been able to get a single Death Blossom kill. He hasn't got a single elimination Death Blossom. They are shutting him down, and Shax almost feels like he's having to force it time and time again. And Ivy, you just look at these stats. He's going absolutely mental. So if I'm the Los Angeles Valiant, they need to find a way to enable Shax, or they need to find a way to change things up, because right now, the Philadelphia Fusion are playing this brawl aggressive style that they're so good at, and they're doing it better than the Valiant ever could.
Well, we're going to head to Volskaya up next, and although Valiant show that they can create space for themselves, they're going to need to work really hard at denying the Fusion, because Fusion, they ain't taking no prisoners. So
exactly. Let's go, baby.
When we come back, we got ZP and Jake taking things from here.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Cheez-It Group.
Shoot, let the Fusion close this out, man. Seriously.
It's a mind crunch.
Oh, snap. Yo, Joe, thank you for the follow, my man. What's good with you, cuz? What's good? What's good? Thank you so much, cuz. I'm too loud, am I? Yes, I am. Here we go. No, I'm still too loud. There we go. I'm still too loud. Am I loud? Is my voice that crazy? There we go. Trying to do like I can barely. Alright, that should be good, I'm hoping. That should be good.
And Sprint have merged. Now that Sprint is a part of T-Mobile,
All I want to see,
more towers,
Fusion
more
sweep, man.
engineers, and more
That's it,
coverage
cuz. Seriously.
than ever before.
We can sweep
This is not
the,
just a bigger network.
I just want to see a rematch of the Fusion Shock.
And now you can get an
That'd be so
awesome
dope.
network at an
I gotta look at the schedule, actually.
Welcome to T-Mobile, America's largest 5G network.
Let's go, man. We can't prolong the sweep. Let's go.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spawn Room, where we're super excited to tell you about a new Instagram AR game called Race to the Future, featuring our very own Sideshow, who tries to avoid obstacles while riding a hoverboard. Make sure to check out the game on the Overwatch League Instagram page, and also celebrate the Overwatch League playoffs by heading to the Download Center on OverwatchLeague.com to download your favorite team-themed wallpapers, backgrounds, banners, and icons. Let's all share our Overwatch League pride. More Overwatch League playoffs is coming up right now.
I'm about to say, don't give me no number 2
The
minutes.
Overwatch League is brought to you by
Sheesh,
HyperX.
dude.
Unleash your style, unleash your fury with HyperX Fury Memory. And by Coca-Cola, the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
The Fusion have been rolling against the Valiant, up 2 maps to 0.
Let's go!
Valiant, things are looking grim here, Jake, because if they can't turn the series around, while they're not going to be eliminated from the playoffs, they do have to go up against an incredibly scary Washington Justice team. So, safe to say, this is the match you want to win.
Yeah, nobody, I think, wants to go up against the Justice that we see today in the lower bracket, right? You know, in the past, it's been, oh, Justice, they're great opponents, pick them first round. If they even make it into the play. Well, no, this time it's like, okay, maybe we really don't want to go up against them in our elimination match. Still, of course, that's to be played in the future, where the series not over yet. Valiant, they have reverse swept before, but I don't know if it's ever been a turnaround like they would need today. I mean, Philly are just dominating them here. For the most part, it's been this Reaper Sombra mirror. Philly just looked better at it. Honestly, it comes from Jesus Sombra being so strong, but their team coordination as a whole, pretty flawless. I think this is a style that suits Philly's strengths and shows, I think, a look that, you know, Sans, Carpe, they're still incredibly good. You know, you've got players like Carpe and Poco waiting in the wings. That's a terrifying prospect and shows, you know, why this team is the 1 seed.
Man, put Poco in.
Yeah, and I think the part here, too, that really shows that the Fusion are not playing around is that throughout the regular season, you'd often see the Fusion run multiple different variations of their roster, right, over the course of the match. And, I mean, part of that was really for pure competitive purposes, but otherwise, it was to get people play time, cycle them around, even if you're not always playing your strongest look. The Fusion, they didn't make any swaps here as we went to Volskaya, Jake. So, I mean, this is the Fusion. All shackles are off. It's 100% full power, and the Valiant have been the very unlucky recipients of it here thus far.
Yeah, I do think with Ivy and Hisu in together, it just signals that Philly, they want to continue to run this Reaper Sombra comp. No changes on the cards, and yeah, that is what we will be seeing here from both teams, in fact. You know, I was hoping for the Valiant's sake, maybe, you know, to bring out KSP on a boosted Ash, maybe play Shax on the Tracer, try and create space that way, but I think both teams have just felt that it's too strong. This Reaper Sombra comp too strong, too aggressive, where you're not going to be able to get value on those slower backline hitscan heroes. I mean, maybe they just get run over by that comp. So right now, both teams sticking to the script, sticking to their guns, and I mean, I have to feel like this plays in Philly Fusion's favor, right? They rolled the last 2 maps playing this comp. What's going to change this time? It's up to the Valiant, I think, to really show something different here if they want to have a chance coming back in this series.
Well, it does for other reasons, too, and I think you astutely brought it up when we talked about the idea of why Valiant would want King's Row, is that KSP is known as a single-shot hit-scan god. Any meta where you can put KSP over to the Sombra, I mean, this is just a win for the Fusion before any shots are fired.
Yeah, Valiant poking in, coming into this rotation on the left flank. A little bit unconventional. I think typically we see teams playing this Reaper comp go the other way, but they're going to try and make their move on to point now. It's all about the static trade. Both Sombras dead even on the EMP.
The Valiant not trying to waste any time here. Dreamer taking a lot of fire.
Yeah, pushing. Come on.
Fire on the Sado. Sado getting low. We get healed back up. Both teams trading on the neutral, and the front line for the Valiant just evaporates.
Jeez, that's what I'm talking about. Let's go.
The Valiant, they're out of the fight. They're out of the point.
Yeah, and the switch was just Hisu finding that hack on McGravy. That's the only opening they needed. And I think on top of the fact that if this hacked pills in the Mega gives them that little edge of healing lead that makes all the difference in this static trade. Now Hisu, maybe the fastest EMP he's had so far this series, 30% ahead of KSP, almost guaranteeing that this next fight will be a rout.
That says a lot, and he gets out! Drops the EMP, hits 5. The Cole is out, and it's a really good response by the Valiant, but the fact that Hisu is even alive is crazy. The Fusion, though, I think they might have overextended a bit. Sado out of the fight early. The Valiant off of Lastro's Cole, able to turn an EMP of their own, and how things change. The Fusion get over aggro, and they pay for it with point A.
Yeah, Fusion, they just didn't look ready to follow up on that. I'm really surprised by that from Hisu. I think he didn't understand how big his lead was. Thought that he needed to really, really push the tempo, but Fusion, they just weren't ready to follow up on that. The Cole more than enough to save everyone. No one on the Valiant, even at risk of dying there. So an uncharacteristic mistake from the Philly Fusion playing this comp. We'll see if that changes going later in the series. Right now, Valiant got some great momentum, could make something out of it.
You know, the Valiant at times like this is where they look to McGravy to have a crazy play. They do have Primal to back it up. Love to see a Primal bomb here. The Fusion, though, they're looking to play this on the ground. Pull out early from Alarm. Rain can drop the beat in response. Dreamer on the Primal right now. McGravy forced out of the match. Has to use self-destruct just to stay alive, but the Valiant are looking very,
create some space
right now. Lastro builds another Cole. It's pretty quick. The Valiant starting to heal back up. They take down Ivy on a 6v5. And now the Fusion looking vulnerable. The EMP comes out, though, from Hisu. Hits 6. And that is a fight-saving EMP.
Yeah, just enough. Barely built it in time. Fury trying to just hold on to this self-destruct. Doesn't want to be forced to deploy that late in the fight. And that's so great, actually, that he lives on low HP because he just gives so much ultimate charge to his supports there. A critical play because they are going up against that EMP Death Blossom combo from the Valiant. So it's going to be tough to survive. Neither support all will be ready for this. So Valiant, despite being, you know, theoretically down in ultimates or in the long con, then Philly, if they don't have their ultimates online, it doesn't matter. Sombra can end the fight so quickly. Oh, he's forced out of invis. That's so important.
I mean, the question is, can KSP find that good EMP? I don't think Sombra is historically KSP's best hero, but it's something KSP has to make work. Drops it, hits both tanks, and they focus fire down Sato. That could be enough if they stay alive. The problem is Rain gets caught. Alarm returns fire with the Cole, the fusion.
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Already. Shax, though, Death Blossom, ready to go. Not the easiest opportunity to land a good one, but now he's going to look for it into the back. Meanwhile, Fury bomb to the side. Shax finds Alarm. The Valiant still in a decent spot here, but they lose Lastro. And even with Alarm down the other end, losing the healing as attackers. That's probably going to be the end.
Yeah, EMP certainly puts a period on this push. I wonder if that was even necessary from ECU, but just wants to lock it up, not give Valiant a chance to get that little bits of...
Bro, they got to tighten up on that, man, for real.
A staggered fight. Now both teams heavily reset on ultimates. But as I say often, this heavily favors defenders. If nobody can do anything, then you're just winning on defense, right? Both teams have a Primal, but in this meta, I mean, how much does Primal really accomplish? Seems like actually one of your worst ultimates, because you can just die to getting hacked and Raper left-clicking you. Like, you can't fight that. And D.Va as well. There's so much pressure on Winston here.
Normally I agree with you, but now you said that, there is environmental on this map. You've just invoked the caster curse. So now, I mean, I think any team that goes to the edge is just going to get swatted by a Winston, and it's all your fault, Jake.
Yeah, tough to actually succeed with that this time around. Ivy teleporting onto the high ground.
Oh, dude, you got to.
Primal
You
does
got
come out, from Dreamer, but neither's getting much. With a hack onto Funny Astro secures the kill. That's an opening there for Valiant. KSP forces TV out.
Supports down. Both supports down. The Valiant, they have their chance. If Rain can get the beat off, this would be huge. Low HP. The Cole still in progress. The Valiant, an enormously good spot.
Sheesh,
taking
man.
down the Fusion one by one. And Rain didn't even have to use the beat yet. So even if the Fusion starts stalling, it looks any bit losable. The beat's going to be there. KSP just drops the EMP for good measure.
Sheesh.
And the Valiant still cap out B with 2 minutes left. That's not bad, Jake.
Yeah, 2 minutes, a very stable time. The Primal didn't get much done on its own, but Dreamer was able to peel Funny Astro away from his allies so that he couldn't dodge the hack. There was nobody left to break KSP's hack. So that ends up securing the kill, and that's a critical one with how close Funny Astro was to Sound Barrier there at the end of the round. You have to imagine if he had survived, he almost certainly would have had that ultimate online and ready to make a clutch play with. So KSP coming back in that Somber Mirror, and you know, I think in my mind it all comes back to that overextension on first point from Philly Fusion. They were in total control there. I think they even underestimated how big their advantage was, felt that they had to play an incredibly fast tempo, and ultimately it was an overextension. The team wasn't ready to follow up. So Fusion, maybe some you know, close out nerves here, but I think we're still a long way from Valiant being in a safe position in this series.
Now on the other end, you think back to your time as a professional player. You're stuck in this situation where you know you have to reverse sweep. The series, frankly, hasn't been very close. But now you're here in Volskaya. You set a time of 2 minutes. Is this something as players that you can rally around and go, wait, we can still win? Like, is this a shot in the arm for the Valiant morale-wise?
Well, I think it comes back to your history, right? In the Valiant, they've had these reverse sweeps in the past. You know, maybe it's been different teams in different situations, but they have, like, at least emotionally, they know that they can still do it when they are down 2-0. And this is exactly the start you need in that situation, right? To get a decent time, a stable time here, and now just play for the win condition on defense. Maybe just hold an OT, right? There's ways to get a map win here. It'll be later in the series, I think, where the Valiant really get the momentum going, but this is the start that you're looking for on a reverse sweep.
So now the Fusion could be heading to their first attack here for point A. Right now, just trying to get through the choke point. Su off to the right, the rest of the team over to the left. And the neutral game so important here between both teams. Su trying to get out. But this back and forth is constant here, Jake, until weakness is found.
Yeah, hack onto Rain, though, is probably going to force Valiant back. They're limited very heavily on their heals. You can see Philly, they're pouncing on this. That's one kill, soon to become multiple. Hack onto McGravy. He's almost certainly going to be chased down. All the heals onto him, but
let's go.
Right here, just running it down mid on the Reaper. And
let's go.
The Reaper holds
easy.
That's when you know you're in trouble.
Easy, let's go.
It's running down mid in the most complimentary of terms. It's like, no, you're not throwing. You're just walking at people, left-clicking, and getting everything done that you want. And, they get the hack on the help back, too. This is such a big power play coming in for the Fusion, and you know, how do the Valiant
Let's go, keep going, keep it up.
They're in a tough spot, certainly. EMPs, though, are relatively even. The big difference here is that Rain, he's only 70% to the sound barrier. Hisu does get spotted by KSP, so he's called out. Both Team Sombras touching each other there just for a second, and this buys KSP time. He's bridged the gap, got his own EMP fully online now.
The Fusion would love to set a much quicker time bank. They have the tools needed. Hisu waiting with the EMP here in the corner. Early Cole.
He's got to drop it.
The Fusion buying their time, but the EMP comes out first from the Valiant, striking 4. Sato is immediately taken down.
I'm about to say, hold that, Hisu.
They take the initiative, Jake, and that is so big for the overall flow of the map.
It is big, but I feel that this is what the Philly Fusion wanted. I actually think this is very, very well played by them. Hisu waiting in that spot. There's no EMPs presenting themselves. He has no opportunity to actually get a good EMP there, so he doesn't force it. And Valiant, you know, they use their EMP to get that decisive team fight, but now going up against the sound barrier with no counters. So Funny Astro can drop the beat as you charge down mid, and for Valiant side, they can't use their sound barrier until Hisu EMPs, so they're kind of hamstrung on their ultimates. The beat could just run them over right now.
Flow it right now, cuz.
I think if you're the Fusion, the number one thing here, don't lose anyone early. Try and flex your ultimates as much as possible. They're going to open up with Astro's beat. They know there's no EMP, so they can open with it super early. Lastro taken down first. The Fusion still at a full 5. Ivy starts spinning the win. McGravy out of the fight. The Valiant starting to fall here one by one.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep it up, keep it up.
In the corner. 30% now for the Fusion and climbing. The Valiant need a miracle to keep this defense alive. McGravy's going to spawn here. Self-destruct ready to go. It'll buy a little bit of time, but they need something, Jake.
Can't even self-destruct. He's hacked, and he's not going to drop this EMP. I don't think he's going to use it the entire round here because Rain, he just cannot commit until that EMP comes out. It's not necessary, and they're just
keep it up. Let's go, let's go.
Gonna have to just beat on point here. He has no choice.
Cap on that, baby. Let's go.
So that's just textbook play from Hisu there. Wow, really recovering that round from Hisu. The intelligence to take the sack fight the first time around, you know, giving up their snowball momentum, recognizing that's not the real win condition. This is great presence of mind from Philly. They really understand this comp inside and out.
Yeah, I mean, you called it right after, and, you know, from the Valiant perspective, that's just something where you just wonder, okay, what can you do? Because the Valiant had to invest what they did there, and, you know, the Fusion just knowing their win conditions so well, where they make a sacrifice that I don't think a lot of teams would have made. I think a lot of teams go, hey, we just took first point, let's get an even
double the time, let's go.
And the Fusion just, they play the long game. They don't fight every battle necessarily, but they're very aware of the war. And as a result, I mean, it's a much better time bank here for the Fusion. And I'll kind of go back to the entire mental side of things here for the Valiant, where you're not a tough spot on Volskaya. You have a dreadful date lined up with Decay and the Justice. If you lose here on this map, what's going through your head?
It's just looking more and more likely at this point. You know, Philly, maybe they slipped up earlier in the map, but it is still winnable for the Valiant, right? You know, this comp can be chaotic. You might only need 2 fights to cap the map. But I think for the Valiant, they're looking for, at the very least, some ticks on second. I think if you only cap first, you're in big trouble. And if you fail to cap first, I think the series is basically over.
Yeah.
Given Philly's ability to play around their win conditions in the past. And
yo, Bloop, what's up, man? What's going on?
From Philly, which has been not slipping up, not sinking.
Just trying to hope, man, we get the Fusion up in here, you know what I mean? Seriously.
And that's the new Philly Fusion that we're seeing here this season. I just want to
these guys, I hope they sweep them.
For them. It's a huge shift for this team, and they just look so good now with incredible talent and that patience.
Yeah, I mean, Philly's long-term friendship with the number 5 is over. Now 3 is their new best friend.
Come on.
I suppose, as the Valiant, they're in some trouble here.
Yeah, get pushed back. Let's go.
On the high ground, the Fusion just adeptly saying, okay, we're going to drag this out. Now, he sees an opportunity, we move in. They try and isolate Shax. Shax is in real danger, just barely able to get away, but now they turn the fire on the Dreamer. Dreamer, very low.
Let's go, push it, man, let's go.
And the sway of all that, they lose Fury, so the Valiant have a pretty good response here so far. The Gravy gets the effect, but now Shax room to work with here into the back. And the Valiant now starting to gain some traction here in the point.
Yeah, McGravy close to resuiting. That would be a major swing. Almost has it online. EMP comes out from Hisu, but did it find anybody? And KSP's is much bigger.
Yeah, it hits 3 towards the end, but the Fusion's still looking to contest. They lose Alarm. Fury's getting demeched. This is getting tougher and tougher. The question is, your Astro, do you commit the beat? Well, you can't right now. You're hacked. If he wanted to, doesn't have the opportunity, but the Ivy out of the fight. This is where Astro likely thinking about saving, even as there's a little bit more contesting going on. I think at this point, it's just to drain a little bit more clock.
Wow, that hack from KSP was so perfect there, because just as you said that, I think that was the moment that Funny Astro needed to drop the beat. It wasn't just any sort of hack with Lucio, it was at that critical juncture where you want to drop the beat and go in post EMP, so heads up from KSP.
Oh, they gotta put, hold them here, man, hold them here.
Snowball, they don't have any EMP to work with. This heavily favors the defense. Can Dreamer get a Miracle Primal once again?
Well, he's looking for it, and that's why he's going off to the side here, the lake, going, please someone be there. Let me smack you into the water. Beat comes out early, though, from Astro, the Valiant. Still at a full 6, McGravy. A little bit of pressure. Ivy into the back, hanging on to Death Blossom. It's not an ideal situation to drop it just yet. Look at that.
Drop the like around like 5 seconds at least.
Find KSP. The EMP isn't going to be built here.
Just hold that, baby. Hold that.
15 seconds left. They have to stay in just to get hit by Hisu's EMP. And the Fusion just about have this locked up.
Fury just chasing down a quick kill here. No problem at all. And that's so massive there. Now Philly holding on to second point. I'd say this is a pretty average push from the Valiant. It's
GG. Let's go. Let's go, Fusion.
Incredibly difficult here. I think holding first for 4 minutes should be impossible here to the level the Philly Fusion have been playing here. So that's a rough spot to be in. You know, like we've always say, right? When you're down 2-0 and you get a draw, it's pretty painful. You know, it's like, well, we're not out, but it hurts. It hurts. You just know we haven't made any progress. We're just alive still, I guess. I guess they get another map pick, but still.
It's a demoralizing situation. I think it actually is the most demoralizing situation in Overwatch, regardless of what level of play you're in. Like, you're in a ladder game, even, Jake. In this situation, you go, oh, great, we have to hold for a really long time, and I don't get anything other than not getting a penalty. Great. It's definitely not a fun situation. But you know, it is worse for the Valiant.
Look at these swaps.
Dog, we gotta push in.
So
4 minutes, that's good too, man. I ain't gonna lie.
KSP on the Ash.
That's enough time.
Big time or completely blow up in their face, but I think that's the risk you need to take when you're down in this position. When like you're playing for the win here. You know, this is not playing for the draw. This is an all-in strat on first. I mean, it's not guaranteed that you'll lose second if you do get snowballed, but I like it. I like it. It's a big risk. You know, sometimes you gotta pull up your bootstraps and just go for it in that down 2-0 scenario.
Well, you think about it. What got the Valiant here? What got them the number 5 seed? It was KSP on these single-shot hit-scan heroes like Ash. So, look, if you're about to get knocked into the losers bracket and fight for justice anyways, you know, try and do what you've been great at, and you know,
Philly,
really, it
so
can't
smart.
get much worse.
So smart from them. They're just not going to play this comp into it. They're just going to take a better matchup. Maybe just it's just Ivy to the Tracer. I absolutely love this adjustment. Ash so effective at pressuring Reaper at mid-range. Tracer flips the script, can instead get on your back line, and you just have less front line to worry about. So aggressive here from Philly Fusion, instantly moving in. Last row hack, he is going to be the target of this aggression. Remember, Ana, no movement abilities. Everyone else can run away, but Ana, she'll be caught eventually.
It's a really nice rotation from the Valiant, though. They're able to shake the pressure. Yeah, Fusion's gotten into the point for the Valiant to reset up, and oh, Shax taking down the hack Lucio combination. And now it's up to KSP.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go.
And the one way the Valiant
can
get
get
back into this fight. They've lost Rain, though. I think Rain might be going for the res. Now KSP under pressure. Fusion all around him. Sato, though, out of the fight. And how much longer can KSP shake this pressure? So far, staying alive.
McGravy on 1 HP, it looks like.
You gotta shake him up. You gotta shake him up.
Health packs. I don't think this is winnable. You're just being scouted by Sombra. McGravy out of suit. Yeah, this is going to be spawn advantage for Philly. The quick adjustment, Ivy to Tracer. They're ready for this. Sure, it was a nice monkey wrench to throw into the works from the Valiant, but Philly's just too prepared. You know, this is clearly a strategy they know how to.
That's how we do it. Let's go.
And you know, trading kills on first point. What better comp to do that with than the Tracer Sombra full dive?
So the Fusion now one good team fight away from heading to the upper bracket final.
Let's go.
In Overwatch League North America. This is going to be a huge defense for the Valiant if they somehow hold it back, but it is not looking good.
Yeah, it's really rough here. How does Rain survive this coalescence? You can be sure Alarm is going to be diving in, wanting to find aggressive kills with the Cole. If he shuts down the Mercy, it's basically over. Philly, that's the pick they're looking for.
All right, Fusion have the EMP ready. They have everything they need. Early Nano onto Dreamer before the EMP comes out, but if I can't get one pick off, it might be all for naught. The Fusion still healthy. The Nano has faded, and Hisu is ready to go, Jake.
Cole trades for 3 ultimates there, so I think you're happy with that if you're Philadelphia Fusion. Dreamer does have Primal, but so difficult to get value against how elusive. Look at all these Philly heroes. Basically anyone can escape a Primal, so Fury diving in aggressively, catches off KSP, and I think this is over, ZP.
That's it.
Fusion racing towards that upper bracket final.
They drop the EMP, it hits another 3. One more time. The Fusion
that's it.
about
Take
to
it.
do another 3-0 here in the semifinal. The Valiant just about out of players, a little bit of extra stall, blown to smithereens.
Easy.
The Fusion advancing on.
Easy.
Just too sick. I mean, come on.
Easy.
They this series from start to finish. You know, looking great on the Reaper Rush comp on the back of Hisu's really incredible, not only tactical Sombra, but also incredibly mechanically skilled. He's just charging those EMPs first more often than not. And then the switch to Tracer, I mean, this just reminds me of the Shanghai Dragons. They did exactly the same thing in exactly the same situation, and it just looks unstoppable. This could be the meta going forward in the playoffs.
Well, if it is the meta going forward, everyone should be afraid of the Fusion because the Valiant have been an incredibly good team. You think about what they did just yesterday against the Mayhem, and you look at what we just saw here. This was not a close series, and it's not because the Valiant were playing poorly. The Fusion were playing out of their minds, incredibly intelligent Overwatch.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Listen, we taking this year, man. We taking this year, man. Let's go. Represent, man.
Could be Philly's year.
This is Philly's year, man. Come on, we need a parade.
And issues they had previously where, you know, sometimes in those quote-unquote easier matches, they wouldn't play their best. They would sort of give in to that chaos. So from Philly, that they've tightened everything up. Their roster looks better than ever, you know, more star-studded than ever before. This is a team that clearly wants the championship this season, and they're looking very, very realistic in achieving that goal.
Well,
it's like they got a complete team. I mean, for real.
We do have one in particular for a player of the match presented by Xfinity. It's Hisu.
Of course.
Where what more could you ask for from your Sombra? Quick EMP building. Great decision making on when to drop the EMP. Hacks in the neutral.
Hisu is on point, man.
Nightmares for weeks. Hisu did it all.
Yeah, everything you could ask for out of the Sombra. And I think that really is what the obvious part of Fusion success is, that Sombra able to set things up. And, you know, she, of course, has that most important win strategy. Kind of everything is built around them. But when you have a player like Hisu, who, I mean, maybe one EMP the whole series wasn't great. Like, that's incredibly hard to do. It's so easy to get pressured out on Sombra, so easy to find an EMP on, you know, just one or just two, or, you know, just missing those crucial targets. And Hisu just managed to dodge those gaps time and time again. And it looks simple when he does it, right? It's just clockwork when he does it. But the aggression from his team combined at that crucial moment,
for real,
it just looks so great. So Philly Fusion, you know, on the back of a player like Hisu, in his comfort zone as it seems on Sombra, I mean, this is the meta I think they've been waiting for. It's not the meta I would have described naturally, but maybe this is them reaping the rewards of the flexibility they built all season long, playing a lot of players, testing a lot of strategies. They look great on anything they play, but this Brawl comp is super emphasizing team coordination, which is, like, I think their ultimate strength this season.
Yeah, and I mean, a testament to that, you know whose player name we didn't say a whole lot over the course of the series because they didn't play? Carpe. And that's no shade on Carpe.
Yeah.
It's just the Fusion being able to run such a crazy good lineup that they could crush a team like the Valiant and still.
So I saw you. Yo, Blue, thank you, man. And, yo, and trust me, man, there's a lot of I can put down another small streamer that's so good, dude. Man, if I can put that on chat, man. Blue.
The Fusion have, and you take.
Hold on, I gotta take a picture of this, John, man.
They've bought themselves a seat at that upper bracket final here, Jake, and we'll know who's going to be up against them just after this match.
Yeah, it's an enviable position.
So there's another good streamer that I can. That's also usually streams with me most of the time. So Blue, if you follow me, trust me, you'll see this person on my stream all the time too, man. They got a hydrate. I'm mad you put that hydrate on, man. Jesus Christ.
Just seems to define the strategy right now. We didn't see any Roadhog in this match, interestingly enough. So it'll be interesting to see if they clash with the team that has preferred that style.
Take a look at
I'm just seeing that hydrate. Thank you, man.
We got a new addition down there. A new gladiator entering the ring against the Washington Justice. No pun intended there to the other gladiators, but this is, that's a tough ask there. I think if you're packing 10 and you're looking at preparation techniques for the match, you're going, okay, we really have to find a weakness to Washington's new Superman because, yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you right now,
Zarya,
Blue,
Nano Boost,
the real Bunny Senpai, make sure you follow her too, man, because she's like, you know, we both stream like 90% of the times, you know what I mean? So if you do enjoy and you love my streams, man, thank you so much again, Blue, man, for the support too. Again, follow her as well too, because we'll be both like co-streaming a lot, you know what I mean? So that's for sure.
Where we're really combining like souls here. We got Custa, a former support player, played a lot of Lucio's time, interviewing Funny Astro, another player that's no stranger to that. So let's hear it.
Yes, I am here. Support players, rejoice. We are all here together. So Funny Astro, another day, another clean win. Another interview. So you're here with us. I want to ask you, we talked to McGravy yesterday, and he said coming into this match, you guys were primary scrim partners leading into this match. Were you guys confident because of that? How did those results go?
I think the result that came today was something that we'd seen in scrims a lot as well. But I think we're on another
Says 17 final blows and 20 knockback kills as Lucio today's win. That's freaking dope.
Dominant. I think we expected it to be a little closer maybe, but I think we played super well today. Obviously on the first 2 maps it was just absolute domination pretty much.
Yeah, you're doing my boys dirty back there. So I'm actually curious. In the past, the Philadelphia Fusion have been, let's say, inconsistent. You guys seem to have shaken that off a little bit in the last few months. You guys seem to be dominant every time you show up to a match. You're not playing down to your teammates. Is that something that you've made an active decision, or are you guys just taking charge?
Yeah, I think we just decided.
Yo, Blue, absolutely, man, for real. Like I said,
a tweet at some point, which is
it's just nothing but small streamers supporting small streamers, man. You know what I mean? And then Bunny is probably one of the best small streamers ever. You know what I mean? For real. Her personality, man, will definitely make you hooked on her, man. For real, she's awesome. She's awesome. So definitely, you know,
playing really well.
It's like a package. You get me, you get her as well too. You know what I mean? For real.
No. I think we're confident against absolutely everyone.
Today's win was a Fusion 16-3-0 sweep this season, tying for the most in the league for the Dragons. That's what I'm talking about. Cause we
week against maybe Shock or Atlanta, and I don't think either of those teams look as good as us.
No.
Alright, if you're that confident, I want to ask you a side question then. The Washington
Astro.
The Roadhog Zaya, do you think that's a good composition, or do you think it's just working for them?
I think Washington Justice are really good at that composition. It's hard to tell if the comp is good or if just Justice are really, really good at it. But I think,
yo, Astro is cocky. I like that.
It could be the meta, but as long as we're still winning with the team comp playing, we have no reason to swap.
Absolutely. You guys look very dominant. Well, congratulations, man. We'll see you again next week, and we'll see if your confidence is in the right place.
Thank you.
Alright guys, stick around. We have the San Francisco Shock coming up against the Atlanta Reign right after this.
That's going to be a minute. That's going to be a minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hold it right here because we have another stream tonight, which is Old School Sundays, man. I'm going to be streaming some Xenosaga.
It's Puckett in the spawn room.
Anyway, so I'm going to be streaming some Xenosaga episode 1. So that's coming up in about another hour. I'm going to take a quick lunch break. Well, not lunch break. It's practically dinner time right now, man. So yeah, we're gonna do that, man. Other than that, dude, yeah, I just want to see the Fusion real quick for y'all. Get that sweep real quick, and then I'm gonna get something to eat real quick, and we come back and we're gonna do some Old School Sundays, man, to finish out the weekend, man. You know, and then yeah, that's what we're gonna do, man. So I'll catch y'all in another hour, man. You know what I mean? Another hour. We'll get things straight. You know what I mean? And you know, hopefully, like I said, you just enjoy the rest of the weekend. Going to Labor Day week. I know everybody's off tomorrow. So, all right, guys. I'll see y'all in an hour, man. Much love.